Welcome back to another episode of Two in the Cooler, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Great episode today. Guys, what we talk about in this episode is wild. Okay, but before we get into that, as always, got to take care of a little business. And that business starts with Instacart. Instacart makes it so easy to get some of your favorite products from some of your favorite local stores delivered right to your door in as little as 1 hour. Spring's coming in, and as the summer starts as well, you're going to want to stock up on picnic and barbecue necessities. Everybody's going to be doing it, so the stores are going to be pretty goddamn crowded. So why not avoid all that headache and just use Instacart? Makes it super easy, and the best part is, right now, Two in the Cooler listeners get free delivery on their first order of $35 or more. Just hit the link in the show notes and get yourself that deal and get yourself using Instacart. Make life a little easier. That's not their slogan, but they can have it. This episode also, as always, is brought to you by us, is brought to you by Two in the Cooler and our merch. We've got... I actually don't know if what we've got planned is going to be ready by the time this episode comes out, but check the merch store because something really big and really cool is going to be coming. In the meantime, check it out anyways because there's the Matt Can't Read, we've got pizza tipping, we've got the logo stuff, and guys, the reason it took us so long to put out merch originally, it's been out for a while now and it's been amazing seeing all the orders come in, but the reason we didn't do it right away is because we wanted to be able to give people a product that was quality and at a good price. Because there's nothing worse than paying like, I don't know, $30 for a freaking t-shirt that is super uncomfortable. You know, $55 for a hoodie. That's unbelievable. I get a little upset about it because I can't believe that like podcasts and stuff that I like would make people pay that. Like, whatever. It's upsetting to me, but it is what it is. Not something you have to worry about with our merchandise, which you can get by going to teespring.com/store/2inthecooler or just hit the bio. It's in the description of this episode, whether you're listening to it or watching it on YouTube, and it's in the bio of all our social media. Make sure you follow us on Instagram and Twitter at 2inthecooler. A lot of clips and everything, very fun, posted on there. Also, our Who Would Win of the Week polls, which you want to be sure to vote in. We want to see who would win. That's the whole point. All right, folks, that's enough out of me. Just Matt and I in the studio today. First time in the new studio that it's just been the two of us, and we get into it, folks. Oh, man, I'm so excited for you guys to hear it. All right, there you go. Thanks for listening, folks.
And we back up in the stew.
We certainly are.
We are in the stew.
Yep.
And Vacation Andy has entered the stew.
That's right. It's Vacation Andy in the office, which shouldn't work, but
it does. I have a lot of things to say. One, super weird right now.
Okay.
Well, one.
Yeah.
Episode 52.
Episode 52. That's right.
So
the 52nd.
The 52nd
episode.
For those of you who don't know, we come out with one episode a week.
Mm-hmm.
There's 52 weeks in a year. So that's a little bit significant.
Yeah, yeah.
And we also have no guest on today, which it is the first time we've been in the studio with no guest, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So it feels weird for me because you're usually alone. I'm never alone. I'm over here.
Yeah. Well, because you always walk with Jesus.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm never actually alone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of course.
Footsteps in the sand.
But right now, I feel a bit alone. There's usually somebody to my left.
Oh, you feel a little lonely?
A little bit alone. I feel a little bit alone.
You get your own shot, though. Look at that.
I know. Well,
nice.
That's the thing is now I keep looking. Like, now I have a clear shot straight at the screen. I can see everything perfectly. There's nobody blocking my view. So I just keep.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's going to be a big problem.
Keep doing that. My chair swivels. I look over at myself. Well, the other thing I was going to address right away is the fact that there's a legitimate hurricane going on this morning.
Yeah, we're recording this at a different day, which is one reason why we've got no guest, and one reason why I'm wearing the shirt today.
Yeah, because when the episode comes out, you will be Vacation Andy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so hurricane outside today. I had a shitty morning. I woke up later than I wanted to, not by long, but a little bit. And I'm like, all right, I got to start doing my schoolwork because I knew that we were going to record today at 3. I wanted to get it all done. My MacBook, the little mouse pad thing on your laptop just stopped working, which was a huge pain in the ass. So I had to go to Walmart, and this is when I first experienced the hurricane because I heard it. Well, there was a little bit of a thunderstorm last night, not last night, but like 4 or 5 a.m., I would guess. And then super windy, so to the point where I was walking into Walmart to go buy this mouse pad, and like the wind was blowing me so hard from behind, I felt like I needed to get a little jog going, or else it would have looked like I would have been kind of leaning forward with the wind. So I had to kind of let the wind carry me into Walmart.
You kind of lean forward. You got that Naruto run going against the wind. It's aerodynamic.
And then on the way home, so I'm driving down the Niagara Falls Boulevard, and there was garbage cans from the city of Tonawanda, like not just like in the road, but like zooming down the road, like with cars. Like there was one, I drove past a garbage can that was in the middle of a lane. Like I went around it safely, and as I drove past it, and I couldn't have timed it better, the wind, like big gust of wind came in, and just as I was past my car, the garbage can shot all the way across the road, all 4 lanes, like zoom, flew across the road, like into oncoming traffic. Like people were slamming on their brakes. Wind was crazy.
That's what I saw too. It's just garbage cans going everywhere. That's the real issue today. Is not so much the wind, but the effect that it's having on the local garbage cans. It's a garbage can apocalypse. That's what I think.
So, and something that's kind of died like with the times is I don't see people write their addresses on garbage cans anymore, because a lot of places don't get, like, a lot of people don't buy like regular old garbage cans anymore. They're, cities or towns or whatever give them those big bins that they all look like recycle bins, but like some of them are green and some of them are black and some of them are blue. I don't know what they all do, but so when those start flying around, and they cost money to get, and I have a story about that too.
Okay.
So when they start flying around, how do you know whose is who? Or is it just make sure everybody has one, they're all the same now?
Probably at that point, yeah, because they're all identical.
When I was living at my old apartment with all my hockey guys and whatnot, we had a problem of like using too much garbage. Like we wouldn't have enough space in our garbage cans for all of our garbage, because there's 9 guys living there. And so every once in a while, when it was really crunch time, like to the point where we would have to like try to like we would take our garbage out like the night before, but we'd have like a few like full garbage bags already like tied off, ready to go in the garbage cans the second that they got emptied. But it would get to the point where sometimes people would throw our garbage bags into like our neighbors' garbages because they didn't have as much garbage as us. I mean, not that we ever asked, I guess, but people would do that.
Yeah.
And finally, after 3 years of living in that house, like that everybody lived in, one of the neighbors, I don't know if it was this person that had been there the whole time, I don't really remember, but left a note on our door one day on the back of an envelope that said, like, this is for you guys. And they paid like the $20 for the city of Buffalo.
That's kind of cool.
To get us a new like a second, or it was a third like jumbo garbage can, which we probably could have just told our landlord, like, hey, we're having a bit of a garbage issue, you need to get us another can. But none of us were going to do that. We're too independent.
Right. Too independent. So you have to wait for the neighbor to take care of your problem, because that is what independence is. That should be acceptable, though, to put. I've never put my garbage into a neighbor's garbage can, because there's something that feels weird about that. Like I'm using their space, even though it's just garbage. But I think that should be completely acceptable, because if I use more garbage than you, and you have all that space. Why wouldn't you? I mean, that's garbage communism, but I think that's the one place where it should
Communism
be
might
acceptable.
work.
Yeah, is in the.
But it actually,
communism belongs
but you
in the
want to,
landfill,
it
am I
does,
right, folks?
but again, like all communism, it becomes a flaw, and I've experienced this flaw too.
Oh boy.
So, I'm going to exclude myself from the story as I was not there, maybe. But after my senior year of high school, when we all went prom camping, we rented out like this cabin, whatever, blah blah blah. There was like 30 of us, like all of our friends and like their significant others down there, and we were there for 4 days. And the person who like rented it, like was responsible for it, neglected to tell us that there was like an additional garbage fee if the garbage wasn't, one, sorted between like garbage and recycle, and two, it had to be in clear plastic bags. So the person who rented this, that should have been the first thing they told us when we got there, but nobody did. So we just had loads of garbage bags like piled everywhere, and nobody wanted to. Well, nobody even considered like, should we just pay the garbage fee? Like, I don't know why we didn't. It probably wouldn't have been that much to split between everybody, but it never even got considered. So they're like, yeah, the truck that brought down all the wood, we had a truck with a trailer on it that brought down all the wood for like bonfires and stuff. They're like, we're going to fill it with all the garbage bags, and then like you guys just like go like dispose of them. So there was this truck full of garbage bags, trailer and bed of truck full of garbage bags, like, and everything over the sun. I mean, from beer cans, like everything, and like paper plates, and like people were eating, so they're messy. There's like ketchup, they're just messy garbage cans. Barbecue sauce was a big issue, and I'll get to that point in a second. So like people start to discuss like that are in like this kind of convoy of garbage duty, like, what are we gonna do with these garbage bags? We have to put them somewhere.
So you started out and you just started driving with all these garbage
Not
bags.
me.
You had no plan. Right, whoever was doing it just started out with these garbage bags and they just started driving. They had no plan.
Yeah. Because this is how it worked out. So, and this story's we're getting way too in depth to the story, but we had, I think is prom on like a Friday or a Saturday? I think it's on a Friday night. Say it was on a
yeah.
Prom was on
let you leave school early.
Prom was on a Friday night, and then so we had the cabin for starting Saturday morning, Saturday, Sunday, but then it was Labor Day, I believe, or one of those days in May or June, whatever it is. And so we had Monday off of school, but in order to rent it for like a long weekend, we had to rent it through Tuesday morning, so Monday night too. And most people were like, oh, I got to go to school on Tuesday. But like half the people were like, fuck it, we just had prom, like school's over, like we're just gonna miss one day, we paid for it, we might as well stay and have fun like through Monday night and leave Tuesday morning. So everybody wasn't there on Tuesday morning, and nobody, like I said, nobody had ever considered this garbage bag crisis before. So all of a sudden we're all just like, we have to leave, and we have all these garbage bags. So it was like, just put them in the truck. So whatever, they got put in the truck, this convoy. So eventually, like, well, let's just like go to a dumpster.
Yeah.
But this is what comes back to the communism theory. It was quickly found out that like companies that have like when a dumpster's on somebody's property, they have to pay to get them emptied.
Yeah, that's right.
So there was a dumpster that got pulled up on, and people started chucking garbage bags into this dumpster. And I'm talking a lot of garbage bags.
Well, yeah, if it filled up a whole truck and a trailer.
Yeah. And I don't know how long, like I would say half the garbage bags were in this dumpster, and the person who owned the establishment that the dumpster was at came out like Karen mode, recording like license plates.
Ooh.
Saying like, you have to take all this trash out of the dumpster. And once trash is already in a dumpster, it just instantly becomes a mess, right? Like you throw a bag into a dumpster and like it just like disintegrates, and there's trash everywhere. So this is where the barbecue sauce comes into play. Is because now there's, let's say 30 bags that we have to pull out of this dumpster, but 1/3 of them are already ripped open from getting chucked in the dumpster. And so now there's barbecue sauce everywhere. And it turned into like a little game of like people, I guess, doing, it's probably illegal, but like trying to find a dumpster and like unload like 3-4 bags as quick as you could.
Like dumpster hopping.
Yeah, dumpster hopping. Not diving though. Like dumpster diving would be like going to different dumpsters and looking around.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's not the same as. I'm not saying it's exactly the same.
No,
as
but I'm
pool
just
hopping,
making the
but
the clarification. So yeah, I guess communism doesn't really work with trash either.
Yeah, that's a tough situation.
And that's really the downfall of communism. Right there.
It doesn't even work
They
with
should
trash.
just teach people that story in history and just be like, yeah, and that's why communism doesn't work.
The thing about the person who owned the dumpster, you definitely have to go out there and be like, don't put your garbage in this dumpster. But if they come out phone first, that's basically that's kind of like Gran Torino opening his front door with the shotgun being get off my, like that's what it is now though, you know, like the camera phone, what I'm saying is that's an immediate aggressive move, like bringing that like leading with that, coming into a situation.
Out and tried to be nice about it, and if we refuse, then maybe like,
I mean,
hey,
not even nice, but just
not nice, but not so threatening, like
cordial,
hey guys, yeah,
cordial,
hey,
you know?
don't throw this garbage,
or at least, because you have to expect, I mean, I would at least give the people, anybody, the benefit of the doubt that they just have no idea the details of the situation. They don't really understand that this dumpster needs to be paid for to be emptied.
Well, yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
until I found this out. Like,
yes.
But this is also puts us on another interesting conversation. Is that like a camera is almost the most powerful thing in the world.
It absolutely is. It absolutely
because if somebody can document you doing something that you're not supposed to be doing, they like forever hold power over you. But to counter that point, and this was something I was thinking about the other day regarding athletes, is that I think that there needs to be like some leeway when it comes to like social media and stuff. Like before you like go out and cancel somebody on social media because of a tweet that they put out 5 years ago, think like, okay, before social media, if somebody would have made a mistake, like it would have been whatever.
That's the thing, is that context really isn't a factor anymore, and videos, tweets, photographs are all basically the same thing in that they're just a small piece removed from a moment. It's not the full story. Like you see videos all the time of, you know, I guess Karens or other people, for example, or like there was the one video of the Karen who was like walking her dog and then called the cops on that guy who was bird watching.
Yeah.
And she was taking a video. So her video, although he wasn't doing anything, but I'm saying like if a Karen type person, their video might look incriminating when we know that who they're recording isn't actually doing anything once we have the context.
Yeah, and that's obviously not always the case, but like it is. I like when you said that Gran Torino thing, like that's exactly what it is. Like if you put a camera on somebody's face, it's like it's like a threat. It's like I'm watching, I'm recording your every move, so like don't fuck up.
It sets an expectation that you are doing something wrong. So I think people don't like that part of it either, where they are saying to you, you know, you are a bad person, you are doing something wrong. By bringing that into the situation, not only is it aggressive, but it sets that expectation and it tells you basically how the confrontation or whatever is it makes it into a confrontation and how it's going to go down.
I just think that I saw something crazy on the internet the other day, but it's like a kind of a controversial topic.
Okay.
Well, I guess it's not controversial in the way that I'm going to say it, because I saw this on the internet. I have zero clue if this is true or false. Like it could be the most made up thing ever, but it was like a little bit like not frightening, but like, like if that's true, if I would have researched it and found out that was true, like that's an interesting thing to know, because it said that like historically, before like a society collapses, like before the downfall of like a society, the patrons of that society become obsessed with gender.
I heard that too on Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
I have no idea if that's
it
true.
was like a, but I read it in like a segment of that. And I was like, and how he was talking about, or the guy, I guess if he was on Joe Rogan, was saying like,
no, the guy wasn't on. He just
they
pulled
brought
that
it up
from somewhere.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. So they were saying that like they get obsessed with like gender and like breaking social boundaries, and that's why like they get obsessed with like gender fluidity and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a crazy thing to think about, not like thinking that our society is going to like fall apart, but how like as time progresses, the reason that things keep like changing and changing is because people do keep trying to change like things that are like preset notions. And some of it is obviously for the better. Like if you look over the course of time, like obviously there was things that needed to be changed.
Yeah, I don't change preset notions. I don't know if it's that so much where it's just that it's, yeah, I don't know if I changing preset notions, but certainly I would say, if anything, setting more firm notions about things. Like if you disagree with this, you're out, no matter what.
But
that
I
is.
mean it from a, but like I mean that as like changing like preset notions, as in like back whenever, when like our current society started, like
Sure, but is the change really the issue, or is it that if you disagree with the change, you're done? That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. And I'm not looking at it as like in like the way that a society collapse. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what, like how much that has to do with the situation, but it kind of like, as much as they're two different things, it ties back into the camera thing, because it's such like a different aspect of like how people have to live now.
In a way, it kind of removes the person recording from the incident, even though they are certainly involved, and puts everything happening on who's being recorded. And then, yeah, like
and
you
that's
said,
the problem is, like
yeah.
you said, it's like a threat. Like people, like I would probably get pissed off if somebody shoved a camera in my
yeah,
face.
100%. I mean, I think that's why for years, you know, people been celebrities. I mean, have been like knocking
Pushing
out
camera,
paparazzis
yeah.
and stuff, and now
Paparazzi.
there you go.
Is that Lady Gaga?
Lady Gaga, yeah,
Yeah.
that's Lady Gaga. And now I guess we all kind of experience that in a sense, and it's tearing you down. But yeah, there's that expectation as soon as one of those things gets pulled out that something noteworthy is going to happen, and typically the expectation is that it's going to be bad, and that whatever is captured is going to give the person capturing it power over you, and nobody wants somebody to have power over them.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know how we got onto this topic. I feel like we went from garbage to like serious like
Yeah.
social issues.
Well, that's the way it goes.
Yeah,
We're just
I
talking.
mean, yeah, because society's garbage. Maybe that's the tie-in.
Ooh, put that on a shirt.
Yep, put on a
Um,
shirt. Society is garbage.
But like Plato, Socrates, they all said that the way democracy, the fatal flaw of democracy is it'll never work because eventually the people within it will just destroy themselves. And George Lucas going, you know, I'm just naming off great philosophers, but George Lucas, the prequels, the Star Wars prequel trilogy, people get on that, right? Because they're like, oh, it sucks or whatever. There's so much about bureaucracy and things like that. But I saw this really interesting quote from George Lucas commenting on that criticism that said, what I was trying to show is that democracies aren't overtaken, they're given away, which is exactly what happens in Star Wars. And
Yeah.
what a lot of people would say happened with Trump or if you're on the other side, a lot of people would say, is it happening with Joey B? So I think that the other thing is, I think that eventually that is certainly what's going to happen, like, because I've been thinking about a lot the fact that America will never be like colonized unless there's like an Alexander the Great that comes out of Mexico. That's the only way, and even that, because America's just so large.
Yeah.
And there's just no way to win a war on American soil against America.
And unless we just get nuked.
Oh yeah, obviously, but why would? But that's a completely different thing.
Yeah, because
that's
then
just
you're
complete
just
wasteland.
yeah.
That's
'Cause
just
then you're
wasting
yeah.
everybody.
So I had a point and I forgot it.
Yeah.
But then there's two other things in my mind. And one, I saw a video of two people arguing. It was a woman with like a Trump flag, like standing on a sidewalk, and it was a man, like just a guy wearing a mask, and he was like saying something to the woman, and it was pretty much like the woman was saying to him, like, look at you, like, you got to stop drinking the Kool-Aid, because like he had his mask on, and he was saying back to her, like, you think I'm drinking the Kool-Aid? Like, look at you, like you're, and like it was a back and forth, like who's drinking the Kool-Aid, and it's like everybody's drinking the fucking Kool-Aid.
We're all
There's not
drunk
one
on
person
Kool-Aid.
in this world that is woke enough to have not been on the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, woke, like the term woke is a Kool-Aid term.
Yeah, because it doesn't exist. Nobody's woke.
Yeah, absolutely.
Aliens are woke.
I don't think.
Nicolas Cage is woke, which, by the way, sorry, am I hitting
No,
the red zone?
it's okay. It's part of my job to make to level you.
I'm hitting the red zone.
Yeah, hitting the red zone. Matthew just found out about about how audio levels work, and he's fascinated.
Well,
with that.
I can never see this monitor that we have that shows us everything that's going on. You guys obviously can't see it either, but we can, because there's always somebody sitting to the left of me. So today when we were doing like our mic tests and stuff, I realized that it actually shows my exact volume level, and it differs between like green, and then I can get it up to yellow, and there's actually a red level, but I've never been able to hit the red level, and apparently that's because Andrew has control.
Yes, because it'll sound terrible.
But
you probably already got.
I saw another thing about
National Treasure.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then to go as far as they're bringing back, not the original cast per se, but like the original directors and writers are going to be doing it. TV series format is what I believe it's going to be in. And it's I think it's about Nicolas Cage's son.
These are theories that I've heard as well. I feel so weird moving around in this shirt.
Yeah.
But these are theories that I feel like we have heard before, like in the recent months or in the last year or whatever. The TV series thing we've definitely heard as like a rumor. I'm still not positive that it's confirmed. The thing that I saw made it sound like it's still in the works. Maybe it's now like officially in the works, but I mean, what does that really mean?
And then so I saw somebody tweet. It was a kid I used to play hockey with. Shout out to him. I could say, I mean, it's not, he tweeted, give me a National Treasure cinematic universe. Could you fucking imagine? I don't know how they do it. They'd have to create a lot of storylines, but I guarantee you I would be invested. I think now if you say that you have a cinematic universe, everybody just loves it. Like, I have to watch it all.
That's like the new...
It's a buzzword.
It's a buzzword. It's like the new Hollywood buzzword. Shit, I can't remember.
But imagine how cool it would be if, like, because, I mean, we always see Nicolas Cage as the good guy fighting the bad guys, but, like, what if there was, like, other people out there hunting different treasures and hunting the same treasure? Like, you could have...
Yeah, here's how it would happen. It would be similar, in a sense, to the Infinity Stones, because there would be different pieces that people would be collecting, but it'd be like... Nicolas Cage's adventurer, and then you have, like Tony
But they're
something,
all-
and he's like in China, like looking for this, or whatever.
But they're all like you need all the pieces
And yes, so they're all so
to find the treasure.
So like, let's say
Even though
it's
they've
like,
already found the treasure.
I mean, let's just pitch some stuff. Let's just throw some things at the wall. So, there's like an ancient, like golden headdress, like Inca type headdress. I know they dealt with the city of gold a little bit in the second one in Book of Secrets. Well, not a little bit. That was,
That
like
was
the
the whole
big
point
that
of the
was the big
movie.
thing.
Yeah.
But some, or maybe like something that. Maybe it turns out like Attila the Hun had some kind of like crazy crown, and that crown was actually like granted him some kind of power. I think to make it work, you would have to put some type of mythical element into it, because you need something.
Because then you go Crystal Skull mode.
That's fair. That's fair.
So this is how.
But let me this note before we continue. You need something powerful enough to get everybody together.
So what I think is that it starts with like one piece. Like, so say it starts with Nicolas Cage and he's out looking for just an artifact. Like, it's not a crazy treasure hunt. He's just looking for an artifact,
Sure.
like doing his thing. And he finds it, but it's more than what he just thought it. It's like one big cipher.
One cipher to rule
to
them
rule
all.
all ciphers. So then, as you dissect this cipher, like, so he dissects the whole thing pretty much over like that could almost be its own movie, like, because he needs to find stuff to do that, like different pieces. But once it's done, it's this whole like map of clues that points to like like 5 or 6 different objects. And then once you find all the objects, you can find the treasure of all treasure, like something.
Okay.
Something like I think when you talk mythical, I think what you would do is bring religion into it, like bring like something that like
Da Vinci Code style.
something that like says like we're gonna prove that like God exists or something like that, or like that, like somebody like of another power was like on Earth at some point in time to make this whole thing happen.
That still gets a little into Crystal Skull territory.
No, but that's alien-y. I'm not talking alien. I'm saying like it could be like
some
any type of like Greek god. You know what I mean? Like all these like different, like somebody was
Creator
here at
thing.
some. Yes,
just a
creator.
more. Okay, I understand that. Let me see. So
You could even.
that's. I mean, I think before we go any further, the key to this whole thing is what is the artifact that these pieces are, and what is the significance? Because again, it needs to be.
I don't think that's our job
or
to solve. Though.
significant enough.
I just pitched the idea. Somebody else write it.
But your idea doesn't have any bones because that core is completely missing.
But I'm not the bone guy. I'm the idea guy. It could be. I mean, okay, so like I'm thinking like not the back of the Declaration of Independence. It can't really be the Holy Grail.
No, it's been
done too many times.
Yeah, a lot.
But like something that.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
Something that like because the initial artifact that he's looking for, he has to be like more of a casual, like historic thing. Like he's like, you know what I mean? But somehow like that it's like nobody else has been able to find it, but it's not this crazy. But when he finds it, he realizes that there's so much more to it.
Yeah.
It's something that like maybe he wanted to find because he thought it was just a cool piece of history that he knows that he can hunt down because he's Nicolas Cage.
What I'm seeing is some kind of like vase or something, and it's got like a vase or maybe like a bracelet.
Imagine this.
Okay.
If you were gonna go like vase route.
Yeah.
It's a super famous vase.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Cage buys it in auction.
Yes.
And then he's with Riley. Riley accidentally drops and shatters the vase. The vase cracks into a ton of pieces, and they realize that if you put the pieces back together, like laid out from the inside, there's a cipher.
That's where the cipher is. Okay, that's excellent.
And then they're like, what is this cipher? And then they start to decode the
Right,
cipher.
like it's not complete. The cipher's
Yeah.
not complete. There's clues to find the pieces to the other cipher, which are, they could be in anything. They could be in, like I said, bracelets or something. They could be more vases
and
or whatever,
also,
but I think you can diversify that.
I think at this point, it's very loosely, even once you figure out that now you're looking for different things, it's very loosely known what these things kind of like piece together.
What if, because I
It
was
could
gonna say
be like-
Fountain of Youth, but
It
that's been
could
done
be
too.
like, I know, I'm trying to think of, like, it could be like, so,
It could
I
be
wish
something
that-
like just like Jesus's tomb. Could be something just like that.
yeah, but I was just thinking almost like, because it's more history based than like,
Could be just like Abraham Lincoln's tomb.
yeah. But no, but that's why I was saying, I wish that they didn't really touch so much on like the revolution and stuff like that in the first movie, because you could almost make a whole other storyline out of like, but at this point now it would just contradict everything that already happened in the first movie.
Yeah. So
Like as if something crazy about like how America was actually found, or like, but you could go even further back in history. Then the problem is Ben Gates is really all about American history.
yeah,
So
Ben Gates is a patriot,
yeah,
100%.
so it has to be within the. But it doesn't have to be just in the U.S. Like as far as like where
No,
the
of
stuff.
course
is
not. Of course
But
not.
like that, it has to tie back to something that has a serious impact on U.S. history. That's like completely debunking what we've been being told our
Or
whole
it could
lives.
be some kind of history of the world in some sense, because that would still play a factor in America's creation, but it would have to be a little bigger, I think. Something.
Yeah, I don't think that you can do just the history of the world, though. Because I think it does have to come back into American history somehow.
Yeah, well, I think that's what if that's, but we could just make it so that maybe just the vase at the beginning, why he's buying it is because it has something to do with the revolution, and that's just like America's piece. So that's what gets him into it, right? That's what gets
That's a
him.
good call.
Yeah, that's what gets him into
America. He found America's piece,
Yes.
and now he needs to find. What if it's like there's a piece on like every continent?
That would be perfect. Yes. So then you have basically a core of 8, because you have Ben and Riley.
But
and
you
then
know what it is?
have-
The continental drift theory.
Okay.
Like somehow all these pieces are going to eventually prove that at one point in time
Pangea.
the Earth was just one big continent.
Is that the whole point, though?
No, there's more
Okay.
to it, but I think there should be a lot of shit like that though. Like I think that it should unravel in layers.
I think you're onto something. I think that the term Pangea, what if it's all keys?
What if Pangea is a cipher?
Pangea is definitely part of the cipher. What if it's just this? What if it's literally just the biggest treasure ever? And it was all collected through Pangea, and it's a collection of wealth from
a
the
collection
entire
of
world.
stuff from the entire
Collection
world
of
that
stuff,
no
yes.
longer exists because nobody ever even saw it in the first place
Mm-hmm.
because it was all collected when Pangea when the world was Pangea, and we don't know, we thought they were just cavemen, but really they were this huge advanced society
We're
that
getting
lived
into-
on this one huge
Yes.
continent.
We are getting into Atlantis territory. Is that where we want to go? Not,
Yes.
Yeah, okay. All right. As long as I'm cool with it, I just want to make sure everybody's on board.
Atlantis would be a great thing for Nicolas
Yes.
Cage to do.
Okay,
'Cause
so-
Nicolas Cage, and you know what
We
is
cracked
fucked
it.
up?
We cracked it.
You know what's fucked up? They actually gave this to us. They gave Atlantis to us in the very first movie. Do you want to know why?
You get it.
This
Yeah,
is a
keep
small,
talking,
this is a
keep
small
talking.
detail. So when Riley, what's her name? Abigail. When Riley, Abigail, and Ben Gates first flee to Philadelphia, and they go to Urban Outfitters to get new clothes, and they pay with cash, and he asks for the $100 bill back because he wants to take the water bottle and see what time the clock says. But she's like, I can't give you the $100 bill back. And he's like, here, take my watch as collateral. It's really expensive. It's a diving watch. So, yeah, I'm looking at you, folks. I'm looking at you. So now we know that Nicolas Cage has some diving experience, which means that he is on the hunt for fucking Atlantis. Are you shitting me?
And so all the
Are you?
pieces,
I don't know if we can release this episode because Disney might be fucking chomping on my horn trying to get this.
So all the pieces lead to the entrance to Atlantis, the Forgotten City, where buried is the greatest treasure ever, a collection of artifacts and wealth.
That was
gathered-
all established when the world was propaganda or whatever the fuck it's called.
Pangea.
Pangea.
Yes.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. Matthew, we just wrote... Look, this is...
We just created
listen,
the National Treasure cinematic universe.
This is a funny podcast. Like, we're just joking around. We're just kind of talking shit. This is $1 million idea. This is
When we
is
say
national-
things on here, do we do we own that idea now?
Actually, yes, we do.
Fuck you, Disney. You can Chupapi Muñano, you can suck my fucking cock. Yeah, I'm fired up today. This idea has me fired up.
We
did it.
Matthew, not even.
And he's got
joking,
tears coming out of his eyes,
dude.
folks.
So do you.
No,
I can
no, I don't
see
have
them.
tears.
Holy fuck, we might have to stop the episode right now because that's it. That's the idea for the next
Who would
National
win of the
Treasure.
week? Us versus Disney Corp. I think we come out. I think that's a lose-lose for us.
Yeah, 100%.
We should call it. What's another word for treasure? Quick.
Booty.
International booty.
National Treasure 3 Electric Boogaloo.
The international booty.
The International
Wow.
Booty. Yeah, we don't. I mean, the title is the least important part, at least in the initial process.
No, but I'm saying if we had to go out on our own and make this idea by ourselves,
I want
international booty would have to be the name of it.
That's a beautiful working title. That's phenomenal. We have to get in touch with these people because, you know how we had Ivy League on. They were talking about if you just go to the Mountain Dew website, there's a page that is contact us about a promotion. If we need to find, I hope Disney has a page like that. They definitely don't, but we need to find it.
You're gonna fucking be in Florida in 3 days. Get your ass down there and get involved. Put on a nice suit and take our company name and stuff and just try to make it look way more official than it is. Be I'm an entertainment company. I have this idea to pitch you, and walk in there like you demand, like you mean business.
I not only need to do this, should do this, I have an obligation to do it. To do exactly what you're saying.
In that shirt, actually. Don't even change your outfit.
This is the perfect pitch shirt.
Yeah.
I look like John Lasseter.
Yeah, you kind of look like a movie director. You got the beard, your hair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Walk in with your own chair, wooden tall chair.
Just under my shoulder
Yeah.
and then so
I got an idea.
that's actually I don't think they'd be able to say no to that. That's for sure.
I can't believe that anybody would say no to the idea that we just created.
It's so that
The only thing that sucks about it now is that now that it's out there for the public, it kind of ruins the excitement of what's going to happen. Because
I don't think so.
I think that you make it into I really think you go cinematic universe and you make it 5 or 6 different movies. You blow the whole thing up.
Yeah.
And you start off with he breaks it and he finds the first artifact. You know what I mean? That's an hour and 50 minutes right there.
So Harvey Keitel, the FBI agent, he obviously has to be the Nick Fury of this. Maybe he gets promoted to Interpol, you know?
I almost think that he runs the Interpol treasure
division.
department. Yeah, treasure division.
So then at the end of the first one, we have Nick Cage, and he's like, "Oh, we just found this thing," and then Harvey Keitel obviously shows up, and he's like, "It's been a while, Gates." And then he slides him a little folder, and he's like,
But,
"These are
yeah.
of like pictures of cave paintings, because they can't be pictures of the actual artifacts. That's laying it all out on the table. That's like fucking. That's basically just
Or
like
like
Justice League.
or like
Whedon.
pictures of like super old like text
yes,
that talks about like
yes,
this.
yes.
And he said, and this is exactly how it goes: is he comes in and like, so he shows up at the end of the first movie. He shows up and hands him this book.
Harvey Keitel does. Yes.
Hands Ben Gates' book, but we don't know what the book is.
Mhm.
Movie ends. Second movie starts with.
Okay, so
Were you shushing me?
No.
Oh,
I
that's
was
right.
thinking.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
So then, so the second movie starts like right where the first one left off, with like Nick Cage like looking at the books and Harvey saying,
Disagree.
well, okay, but this is how the either way, this is how it should play out though. Then
Okay.
Harvey says like, I'm at Interpol now, like we can't get involved as far as like being the ones to do it, but you can, like, we're giving you permission to go do it. Like, we're going to, like, let you do your thing. But if other people start to, like, figure this out and, like, it becomes, like, you versus somebody else and, like, there's violence involved, we can't protect you from that other person.
Right, something like if this becomes a public incident, then we can't protect you. And all they can do is kind of run diversion for them in the shadows in the meantime.
And diversion. Yes. Well, I don't even mean like public as in media like gets a hold of it. I mean like if another treasure hunter like starts like following this lead too and somehow figures out from a different way.
Gotcha. They can't be seen involved.
Like
that makes sense.
Like here we go. Say somebody a treasure hunter in Asia found that counterpart.
Ooh, can I go?
Yeah.
So this is what happens in the second movie. In the second movie, we jump to Asia, and there is, in fact, already a full organization of bad guys who are looking for this treasure.
Are they kind of ninja, or is that like? Because I'm not saying that as like stereotype, but like they.
Can I please keep going just for a little bit before that?
Yeah.
Because I just need to establish this.
I have a tweak, but go ahead.
So this group, and we'll flesh out the details of them whenever you want. So this group is already going for the artifact. Their one opposition is a young treasure hunter who's from that area. So the whole movie plays out. He is fighting them for the artifact. So now in this movie, we establish this guy is a good guy. We establish who the bad people are going to be throughout the series. And then at the very end of the second movie, it's this young treasure hunter going in. And then who walks into the room? We see a silhouette first, obviously. And then he comes into the light, Ben Gates. And he says, if you're going to find this, you're going to need a team.
Tweaks. I got tweaks.
Okay.
So spins on that. There's this organization.
Mm-hmm.
They know that the artifact that they have leads to this treasure, but their goal isn't to find it. They tried to find it like hundreds of years ago. And they were never successful. So their goal is no longer to find it, but to protect it and like keep the secret. But they're a bad organization. And so there's a young, super talented kid, like in all assets, like he's treasure hunter, assassin, he do it all. And he's like, I want to find this. And they're like, no, we protect it and we just like kill people to keep them away from it, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, no, like this isn't right. Like, I'm not going to kill people for you. Like, so then he leaves the organization, has to go like underground because he is hiding from them while still trying to like do his own like minor research on the treasure without being seen. And then, but he's also the type of guy where like, he's so good at like everything. Like he's like wealthy. He has this whole like cyber like network that's his own, and he can like do all this technology stuff, right? So he, through the clouds, hears wind of this Ben Gates situation, and he shows up at Ben Gates' doorstep and says, listen, not going to tell you how I know, but I know what's going on. He's like, and I have a plan, but you're not alone in this fight.
So that would happen at the end of 2, though, because I think that this kid.
I think
the second movie needs to be good enough for this kid. I think it needs to be his movie because, like the Avengers way. Because if you have this group together, for it to be successful, everybody needs to be established that they're good enough on their own.
I actually think that the first what?
Okay, never mind. I thought we were fucked, but we're all good.
The
Yeah, we're
first
still going.
movie and the second movie play in the same exact timeline.
Yes. Yep.
And in the listen to this. At
Okay.
the end of the first movie, there's like somebody like secretly attacks Ben Gates, but he gets away and he doesn't know why. And then so the second movie plays out at the same timeline from the start to the finish of the first movie, but the second movie actually goes a little bit longer because that's how this new guy finds out that Ben Gates is hunting down the treasure too. So he approached him, and because Ben Gates at the end of the first movie, when an attack is placed on him and he gets away, he doesn't know why, he doesn't know who, he has no clue what's going on. Then we get the second movie, this storyline of this new kid, and then it ends with him like seeking out Ben Gates, showing up, and like dropping this bomb on him, like, hey, like you and me were on the same page. These bad guys, like they're.
I do think that it's better if Ben Gates finds him because when we start to get into because the same thing, because they're all happening at the same time, the two movies. I think it's still better if Ben Gates finds him because Ben Gates is already obviously established in the audience's eyes, and with this kid finding Ben Gates, what we learn, we will in some ways be learning through him, so that will endear him to the audience even more.
And then I think at some point you also add in a spin-off prequel of this organization.
Yes.
That's hiding.
I think that should be maybe like at the end of 5 movies. Like I think that should maybe be
That's
like
bad.
after the series has been
All right.
completed.
Well, we'll keep
So
working
that's
through this.
Yeah.
But holy shit, folks, we're on to something.
I mean, that's it. Like that's what the show is.
Should be.
I mean, it has to be. Like there's no way that their idea.
I don't think that their idea is better than ours.
I mean, I can't imagine that it is, but
Well, wow. That was like a lot we just did. Like we just accomplished.
it was all very good.
Yeah.
If I do say so. Like it was very coherent, and
which is
like,
crazy
it'll work.
because like after the past like 48 hours that I had, I was honestly walking in here thinking like this is gonna be a battle.
It's gonna be a rough episode.
And you want to know honestly what I think made the difference?
Yeah.
That famous bowl. There's a KFC on the way from my apartment to the studio. Stopped at it, got a famous. Sorry. Stopped at it, got a famous bowl.
I will say that when I spoke to you before you got here on the phone, you sounded really bad, and I was like, "Oh fuck, we're gonna have to do some serious work."
I thought I was
this
gonna
episode."
have to battle, but we're kind of cruising.
But when you walked up the steps with the bag, you were clearly more chipper.
I mean, a famous bowl does that to you.
There's
Is this still on National Treasure? Because I do think we should work past it. We got to get past it.
There's
sometime.
no good way to segue out of something so incredible as what we have just built in front of everyone here. So
We're our geniuses.
look, we're geniuses, and now if people listening didn't know that before, they're very much aware of it. Because it's just, I mean, after that, like...
And the best part is we're not even that dialed in, right? Like, I came in ready to battle. Andrew's already in vacation mode. Like, this is just off the rip here, folks. This is
us when we're off balance.
Yeah.
This is us
Imagine
on like a bad day.
it's almost better for us that we were on a bad day, because if we were on a good day, this really would... People would have really...
We would be
it
in pre-production right
It would
now.
have got too much traction. Yeah, we would yeah. But... So I guess then the next logical thing is to move into the Who Would Win of the Week.
Yeah, and then there's one thing that I feel we should touch on today, but, you know, we've been going for our time here, and it's just the two of us, so yeah, why don't we jump on in?
Yeah, we'll jump in, we'll touch on it, and then we'll skedaddle.
Okay.
Easter's next weekend? Well, when this episode comes out,
it's going to
it'll
be on Sunday.
On Sunday.
Yeah.
So happy pre-Easter.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Is Easter the day that Jesus like came back? We both went to church school for like years.
Yeah, Easter is the day of the resurrection.
Okay, cool.
But you want to know what's interesting about that is that
A person came back to life?
it's always on like like the whatever Sunday. Like Easter's always on like it's not just on the same day of the year.
Mm-mm.
Which like Jesus' birth is on the same day every year, December 25th. So we obviously knew what the date of that was.
Yeah, if you
So
want us to believe all that
why
shit.
did we not know the date of his resurrection? Or maybe we do, but then why do we just only
Because
celebrate on
it
Sunday?
feels
Well, maybe
like-
because Sunday's like just the Lord's Day, so
Sure,
they
that's just Jesus'
chuck
day.
Sunday.
But it does feel like the birthday, or excuse me, the resurrection day, like a literal miracle that no one has done before, would be more important than the birthday, which literally everyone in existence has done.
Well, not necessarily because Mary was a virgin when she became impregnated. God just dropped a little baby seed into her mouth or something, and
Yeah, we'll have that
it
talk
sprouted.
later, I guess.
But you know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
technically, like if everything as was said, then Mary became pregnant just magically. So that's also a pretty big feat, because I don't think many people have ever done that. People have probably said that they've done that.
What about though?
That's probably a
hold
pretty.
Hold on. In vitro fertilization, though, that's a thing now. We can do that through science. We can't bring people back from the dead with science yet.
Yeah, but in vitro also, like, you still need like a little something there to make
Some
that
kind
happen.
of like penetration into the uterus.
like
with
that,
like a tool.
But like like that little fetus or whatever it's called, a zygote.
Yeah, zygote.
That little zygote gets inserted somehow, and that
Oh,
zygote
yeah,
gets
yeah.
created. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas in Mary's case, she just woke up one morning feeling a little nauseous,
Mm-hmm.
and then 9 months later, we got a little baby Jeebus.
Okay, I still think
All
that
right, this week's
resurrection
Who
is more
Win of the Week.
impressive.
As we prepare to celebrate Easter as the religious followers that we are, is the Easter Bunny,
the most important
the most
religious
important
figure of our
religious
time.
figure of Easter. The Easter Bunny versus Kangaroo Jack. Now,
The other most important religious figure of our time.
let's first establish that the Easter Bunny is not a regular bunny.
Yeah, it's like
It's like a human bunny.
it's like the one that
So
you would
I
see
would
in
almost-
a costume.
Well,
at the
yeah,
mall.
it's like
that.
imagine Kangaroo Jack. Like imagine a kangaroo, but it was a bunny. Like they're similar sizes, I would say.
Yeah, for sure.
Which I think plays a big factor because everybody knows like how strong a kangaroo is because they can run fast. But rabbits in general would be like that. They're just smaller. So when you have the Easter Bunny, he's pretty much the equivalent to a kangaroo,
Mhm.
which is what makes this such a interesting fight. The first thing I'll point out, two things. One, I think that right away you have to assume the Easter Bunny lacks grit compared to Kangaroo Jack. Like Kangaroo Jack has been through some shit. He always finds his way out. Also, they both love candy.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Unrelated. Two, kangaroos are so strong with their feet, but they also have fast hands. Like kangaroos can throw hands. I don't know if the Easter Bunny can go punch for punch with kangaroo. I think they could go kick for kick, but I don't think he could go punch for punch.
That's what I
Kangaroo
was
Jack.
thinking as well. Because kangaroos do seem to have, like, even though their arms are limited in the range of motion, they do seem
they
to
chuck
have
fast
more.
hands.
Yeah, they
Kangaroos
seem
can
to have
throw.
more experience with them, and kind of like I guess cartoons. You always see kangaroos with boxing gloves on. That probably doesn't have to do with anything, but something to think about. I think. So yeah, I think that the advantage is not really going to be won through kicking. I think that the Easter Bunny is a sneaky is a sneaky fella. Like
Yeah.
he, his whole job is hiding.
I
the
would
eggs.
say that bunnies are sneakier than kangaroos.
Yes. Kangaroos are definitely more direct. However, Jackie Legs is smarter than the average kangaroo.
Jackie Legs is super smart to the point of, like, people would probably consider him manipulative
Yes.
in a bad way
Yes.
at times.
Yes.
I didn't even really think about the hiding the eggs thing. But I was going to bring this up. So we're just saying that he's just real sneaky. He doesn't
I think he's a
necessarily
trickster. I think the Easter Bunny is a little tricky.
like the Tricks Rabbit. See what you get. Yeah,
like the Tricks Rabbit.
Yeah, we already did.
Well,
I think we did the Tricks
we
Rabbit.
did. We did the
Hoodlum
Tricks
Week.
Rabbit. That was really
Early.
Yeah.
First, whatever. But the Easter Bunny has no magical powers, right? That we know of.
I guess I guess not. It's just really stealthy. So it could
so
sneak
that's
up.
okay.
It would definitely be able to sneak up on Kangaroo Jack because Kangaroo Jack,
But he's not oblivious by any means.
no, but I think that the Easter Bunny would be able to get him. I know he's not oblivious.
See,
but I think that
what
the
would-
average person,
I
or
think
whatever,
that-
could get pretty close, and the Easter Bunny obviously surpasses that. So
See,
I
I think the reason that the average person can get close to Kangaroo Jack is because he'll play dumb. He'll play like, I'm a goofy little kangaroo. I don't know what you are. Like, I'm not gonna hurt. So I think that he would recognize that the Easter Bunny's trying to sneak up on him, and he would play it off like, oh, I'm just a dumb little kangaroo. But he would keep the Easter Bunny, in his like rear view mirror or whatever. And then right when the Easter Bunny decided that he could sneak up on him and attack, I think Kangaroo Jack would flip into savage mode and just feed him with the 1-2. Mayweather 3-4 McGregor. Next thing you know, Easter Bunny's scrambling to find a fucking Reese's egg, give him some juice to get back up. They maybe go another round or two, and the Easter Bunny gets some shots in.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that the Easter Bunny's sneakiness is only going to get him so close to like even if he sneaks up on him and like gets that first punch. I think once Kangaroo Jack is established in the fight, it's GG's for the Easter Bunny. It's game over.
Right, because at some point it is going to have to. It is going to turn into a head-on type of deal, and I don't think that the Easter Bunny would be able to initially serve a blow devastating enough to end the fight
Because
immediately.
Kangaroo Jack's got a strong jaw, don't forget. He loves jawbreakers.
Yep.
And
so even because what I'm seeing is maybe the Easter Bunny like distracts Kangaroo Jack with like some candy and then sneaks up on
behind
him. But again,
But doesn't
if
that
he
happen
sneaks up
in
on
the-
him,
Isn't that a scene in the movie where they try to trick him with Twizzlers and he doesn't fall for
they
it?
definitely yes, that does happen.
So that's what I mean is I think that
Yeah.
he would let the Easter Bunny think like that the Easter Bunny's going to be able to sneak up on him, but he would recognize that it's a trap and he would be able to react quick enough to where even if the Easter Bunny got all the way to him and maybe like landed a blow before he was necessarily ready to defend, he would be at least prepared enough to expect that blow and not get like just absolutely tuned off one punch or one kick.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that, and I think that Kangaroo Jack is, or rather, the Easter Bunny would come in with kind of a level of hubris. Like I think the Easter Bunny would very much underestimate Kangaroo Jack because everybody does.
Yeah, and the Easter Bunny's thinking like, I'm the Easter Bunny.
I'm
like,
literally a mythical creature.
Yeah, like I'm gonna beat the shit out of this kangaroo.
Yeah. What's this Jackie Legs?
I
guy got?
represent the Easter Bunny's like, I represent the man that invented this kangaroo.
Oh Jesus.
You wanna know something I just thought of?
Okay.
This is gonna sound all right. If God was real, why wouldn't he just create an actual Santa Claus?
I don't know, man. Some bullshit about like how we gotta learn through the suffering of Santa Claus not being real, about how that teaches us to like not have sex with our neighbors' wives or something like that.
Because like Christmas is going to be a thing regardless.
So why not?
And
just
that way,
make
like,
Santa real?
rather than have people who are like, oh, I, you know.
Oh, well, what if it's just like it would distract from my son's birthday?
That's hard.
Look,
we're
God-
well past that.
Look,
we are well past that.
and I don't even think that would make a difference to him because God was obviously an absentee father. So I don't think he'd really care.
I disagree. In fact, I think that God is probably the most active father ever. Because he's always with you.
Because he's everywhere. Because he's in everything.
Well, once you create a relationship with God, he's there. He's right by your side the whole way. And that's obviously, I mean, and then Jesus, knew that. Probably had a way to, like communicating with him, like mentally.
Like the snow globe in the Santa
Yeah,
Claus.
yeah.
That's what that's
The
based on.
Santa Claus
Dude,
is based on the birth of Jesus.
What if we've established on the podcast before that Mary Magdalene is the Holy Grail, but what if the Holy Grail is the snow globe equivalent to Jesus, and Jesus just has to like shake the Holy Grail or just like take a sip out of
Little
it, and then
baby step.
God floats
Yeah.
down with his big Santa
Hey,
bag and
son.
is like, "Hey son,
I imagine this being an umbrella, like floating
Mary
down on an
Poppins
umbrella.
style."
Yeah.
You think God is more like Mary Poppins than he's like Santa Claus?
I definitely don't think God's like Santa Claus. But I don't really think. God is definitely more Mary Poppins than Santa Claus. Mary Poppins friggin' does it all. She's got some type of magic dust going on at all times.
It's not like she's benevolent too. She's not like the nicest person either. Like she teaches fucking lessons. Like she's not.
And that's what I
she's
mean.
tough
And she
on
like
those kids.
Yeah, and she like takes care. I think Mary Poppins is definitely more godlike than Santa
I
Claus.
think Mary Poppins is God.
Yeah, I actually think that. I love that. Have you ever seen like those things that's like, oh yeah, Mary Poppins talking about a spoonful of sugar, like she was doing a spoonful of cocaine. That's the reason she was acting the way she was acting. Have you ever seen like
No.
that? Yeah, okay. Anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and lock in Kangaroo Jack as winning this Who Would Win of the Week, just because we kind of went through it and already got off topic, so we definitely got to make sure we know what's going on. Are you on the same boat as that?
100%. I would never vote against Jackie Legs. So I mean, I came in expecting Kangaroo Jack, and I think that after talking it out, that's only more confirmed.
Yeah.
It's only solidified.
All right, so vote on that
Mm-hmm.
on Instagram. Let us know. Get in the Easter spirit. Do you get in the Easter spirit? I guess you
I'm
do
sure
with
some
like
people
Lent
do,
and stuff like
But
that.
I don't know if I'd want to
Oh,
meet anybody
dude.
that's in the Easter
Speaking
spirit.
of, yeah, I mean, I was gonna say, it's Friday, so I mean, technically speaking, like it's Lent. I wasn't supposed to eat Famous Bowl like if we were doing that. You know what I mean?
If we were doing that, we haven't
'Cause
done
you're not allowed
that
to
since
eat
we were
meat,
like
though.
6.
I know,
think
but
was
I'm
the last
saying like
time.
if we're on the Easter theme, you're not supposed to eat meat on Fridays right now. So
Oh, but Easter
right now, all of our listeners are enjoying a nice little fish fry.
that sounds good. I haven't had.
I want a fish fry tonight. I'm gonna get a fish fry tonight, just because like it's gonna be readily available and
Yeah.
it sounds delicious.
Yeah. Sounds good to me.
Well, I mean, so you
Yes,
said we had something to get into.
Well, I feel like it's just worth mentioning that there's been some news recently about the legalization of marijuana in New York State.
I have a theory.
Is it okay?
It's a political theory. It has nothing to do with the actual
Sure,
legalization
sure.
stuff. But my roommate and I were talking about it last night. That now that like Cuomo's he was on everybody's good side. Now he's on everybody's bad side, and he doesn't want to resign or anything. And he was the only thing previously stopping the process from like weed getting legalized in New York State. So I think now he's just like, I want people to like me again. Let's just make drugs legal.
Yes, that is the reason why we're gonna get it. Not because of all of the tax benefits and things like that, but just because Cuomo touched some people that he should not have, and also killed all those old folks and lied about it.
Killed a lot of old folks, gave a couple unsolicited kisses, and now we're going to be able to
Did you
recreationally
see him
smoke
like
weed.
grab that woman's
Yeah,
face?
I didn't like that at all. I didn't like that at all.
I don't think she did either.
I also saw a thing that it's probably going to be it's probably going to go into effect next year.
The legalization.
Yeah. And I saw a thing that use on sale and use on property will not be allowed in establishments that sell alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that means the creation of like weed bars. Like instead of going out to like, let's go out and have some drinks, people are going to be like, yo, let's go out and like to this bar where it's just filled with like couches and all they sell is like nachos and mozzarella sticks. And instead of like lights and like EDM music, it's just dark and there's just like Seth Rogen movies playing all the time.
That's
what I would do if I was going to own one.
Because there are like kind of places like that already that
like,
are very similar, yes, to like hookah lounge type like they have that kind of atmosphere to them. But I think you're really onto something there, because with the expanded use that's going to happen once it's legalized, what you're talking about is kind of the sports bar equivalent to marijuana. And that is another $1 million idea. Let's just call this the $1 Million Idea Podcast, which is definitely a name that's already taken. But this is where it's actually accurate, is on this show.
Yeah, we're 2 for 2 today.
2 for 2. So, yes, it's going to go into effect. Earliest is probably going to be December of 2022.
And like
just in time for Christmas, little note to everybody.
That's what you're going to ask for Christmas?
Well, I'm not going to ask for it, but I feel like people know what to get me now that it's going to happen.
I'll get you an ace for Christmas.
Yeah, that's thank you very much.
Just a little something.
I mean, it's all right. I've got enough shirts.
And like, it's actually a way better business model than a bar too, because you don't need to worry. You don't need to worry about security.
Because everybody's just so sedated.
They're just gonna be stoned. And like, there's gonna be like different types of people. There's gonna be like the people that go there, and they're the type of people that like smoke, and then they want to like clean and stuff. I wouldn't even hire staff. I'd just like offer different strains, and when the people come in that like strains that like make them feel productive, they'll just start doing it for you.
I think there's a liability issue there.
No,
I like the idea of like an interactive experience in that sense.
It's like when you know when you go into like a local barber shop and there's always one guy like sweeping up for the barber. Mm-hmm. It'd be like that.
Yeah, that could work.
And that's another idea too. Is a barber shop where they
smoke weed. That's a phenomenal idea.
Like you come in and you sit down in your chair and like they hand you like a pre-rolled.
Right, because I'm pretty sure some places will do that with like cigars and stuff already, right? Like the really nice ones have.
Yeah,
like
I know that you're not allowed to. I know that you're not allowed to sell food in a barber shop, but I do know that there's at least one barber shop in Buffalo that also has its own bar where you can actually just go to the bar. You don't have to be there for a haircut. It's got a full bar inside of it. I don't know what it's called, but I know some people that used to go there.
But yeah, that is a really good idea.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah, a lot of money is going to come into the state that way, and they're saying that a lot of it is going to be because they're estimating like $350 million a year is going to come in from weed sales, and they're saying that a portion of that is the plan
of tax money that comes from
weed would like go to the state. And they're saying that a portion of that is going to go to neighborhoods, like impoverished neighborhoods, where, they've been the ones, like people who live there have been by the weed laws now, like a lot of people getting arrested and stuff. I don't think there's any way that's actually going to happen. I think but what's funny about that is like, I think that's kind of a
justification.
Yes, it's a justification that makes all of the like real like dumb like fake woke people.
You think Kamala Harris is pissed about this? Isn't she super like?
She sent a lot of people to jail for weed offenses and stuff. That is true. But I don't think she'd be mad about it. At least not publicly, for sure.
I think somebody should. I'm gonna go to jail for saying that. Like somehow somebody that's like friends with her, like should just like get her super stoned one day, like as a joke.
I mean, it could happen.
I don't think that the vice
already.
president can be high though.
If JFK can be on meth,
No,
then
but picture this. Meth is a different beast because picture Kamala Harris is like
Kamala Harris, or
I don't
Kamala.
care.
I've heard some people.
I don't
try,
even
but it's
care.
not Camila.
And it doesn't have to be her. It could be anybody in off, right? Anybody who is in like a position that is obviously that powerful. Like, what if you're like, oh, finally, night off, like, just gonna like do a little like marijuana and like watch a movie and hang out, and all of a sudden like your phone rings and you're like, it's Putin, like he's threatening to like nuke us, and you're sitting there and you just like smoked some weed, and now you're like, oh shit.
I mean, that's the risk.
They're like,
I guess
where's
they
the
take at all
vice
times.
president? They walk in and he's just like in his closet under a blanket. He's like, they're gonna nuke the shit out of us. He's like, this is my only play.
Well, I guess that's just the risk in general, because like presidents definitely drink, probably.
Yeah, but I
quite
don't
a
think
lot.
I don't
Some
think
of
that
them.
I don't think that I think about this a lot because like my anxiety would never allow me to like if there's like a chance that I'm gonna have something to do, like drink. I don't like to like I like to like be completely like prepared to handle a situation. So if I was like a president, I don't even think I would ever drink because I'd be so stressed out all the time. Like, what if I have to do something? I'm sure they have like a drink, but I doubt the president ever like gets tuned up.
I think the president gets pretty loaded. That'd be my guess, because of basically
I also
they're
think
dealing with that stress in the opposite way that you would.
And I also think that the president, as busy of a person as they are, like has enough of a support system to where like he doesn't have to deal with every single matter. You know what I mean? Like I don't think everything gets handed right to him. So I'm sure they have some like they schedule out some downtime, like not often, but like every few months. I'm sure that they have.
I guess so.
I don't know. All right,
Something.
well, I think it's about time.
Yep.
Because I don't even know what happened in the past hour and 13 minutes and 26 seconds.
Something
a lot.
spectacular.
Something special.
Mhm.
Something really special. And it fires me up because if you guys haven't listened to last week's episode yet with Preston,
Yeah.
it was a great episode. We had a blast
Yeah.
shooting with Preston.
Yeah. He's just a good guy.
Yeah.
He's just, you know what?
And he's
he's got a cool brain.
Yeah. Yes. Like he would have been a fun person to have here, like when we were pitching like movie ideas and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Because and like he's just a good like it was so easy to like record because like he has his own thoughts.
Dude, he and I talked basically specifically about that afterwards, and I think I might have gone a little hard. Like I don't
hard,
I can't
hard
get
in what sense?
like I was just very much like it's I want to be careful because I don't want to say what I said. But just about how much better it is to talk to people
yeah.
with
yeah.
opinions and ideas and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Andy, you're headed off to Florida.
Yep. I'm already there.
I'm headed back to my apartment to do more homework.
Okay.
So I hope you enjoy that vacation
I'm enjoying it right now.
that you deserved and earned, worked real hard for.
That did not. Nope, didn't see it. Camera didn't see it, so
The camera
Didn't
saw it.
happen.
Oh.
All right.
But yeah. I mean, let me know how the whole thing with Disney goes while you're down there.
I have no choice but to make the pilgrimage to the mouse at this point. It has to.
You
be
should
done.
just go to Epcot and go to the ball, like, and just start yelling your idea at it. Like,
What if I don't even do it so aggressively like a crack person? I just kind of have a notebook and I'm like, do you like this? Do you like what we? Do you like this?
just talking to the ball.
No, maybe not
Yeah.
that one. Flip through like.
Or like, what's going on with the Great Movie Ride?
It's gone.
But like, what are they doing with it?
Oh, they turned it into Mickey Mouse ride kind of.
I almost think that if this pans out and we were able to pitch this idea and sell it to Disney, I would take a significant pay cut for them to reopen the Great Movie Ride exactly how it was.
I would probably be okay with losing my left foot to get the Great Movie
I don't
Ride
know. I would
back
probably
and
go
going.
foot, but I'd pretty
Like,
yeah.
because that's not crazy, you know.
I mean, a foot is pretty fucked up. A wheelchair the rest of your life.
No, I just have
Prosthetic?
a prosthetic foot. The ankle range of motion. I'm not
I mean,
up
I
to date
still,
on
but then
foot
like,
specific
I mean, I
prosthetics,
guess
but
I don't know how that. I mean, I guess like, then I don't know. All right, let's get the fuck out of here, Andy. I love
do
you.
it. Love you too. So long. Bye, folks.